Hey everyone, it's Jakov, and I'm here again with yet another battle replay for Total War The Dawnless Days. Today's battle replay also being sent in by one of my subscribers, Ellan Enish, who I have to say, thank you for sending in the battle replay. It means a lot to me that you're willing to send it in to me. For anyone else out there who wants to send in any battle replays to me, I'll be more than happy to take them and do a video on them, just covering them and seeing how the battle goes. In today's battle, it's a 2v2 battle with Ellan Enish and another player, Deval, who starred in another one of my videos before, playing as Dol Guldur and Isengard, against Nuzgi, who's playing as Dale, and Harrington, playing as Rohan. So very much an evil faction versus good faction battle. With that said, we're going to put into slow motion and let the video play bit by bit so we can check out both armies. So here we go, put into slow motion, and we'll begin checking them out. By the way, people, if you guys are interested in sending in any of your battle replays, feel free to send them directly to my email, which is linked in my channel description, or feel free to send them to me over the Total War The Dawnless Days Discord server, where I'm also present. With that said, let's check out these armies. So here we've got the army of Dol Guldur, and I've got a couple of units of the Guldur Blades, they're heavy infantry, more Guldur Blades, pretty much as a large force of Guldur Blades. They've got a couple units of skirmishers, the Mirkwood Raiders, very light infantry. A unit of more of them. Do they have any of the archers? No, they've only got skirmishers. And then their front lines are the very indomitable looking, as far as I'm concerned, Guldur Pikes. Now, Dol Guldur is a faction that's lacking a lot of units, so it makes sense that they have quite a limited variety of units on the battlefield. More pikemen over here. And then their general, it's not the general units, but they've got a unit of champions of Dol Guldur. Actually, where is their general unit? Their general's over here with a cavalry escort. So we've got 3 units of the heavy servants of the eye, a very cool looking unit as far as I'm concerned. So as you can see, Dol Guldur has split its forces up, sending its cavalry around the flank. Looking at Isengard, they're fielding a fairly similar army with heavy infantry in the front, the elite White Hand Stormers. Love to see them. Then, is it all White Hand Stormers? No, it can't be. They've got a lot of White Hand Stormers, and then a couple units of Uruk-hai Infantry, just your standard professional infantry for the faction. Then in the back, they've got a couple units of Uruk-hai Pikemen, and then they've got Mordor Bow Rabble. Yeah, and then in the center of their line, I should say, they've got the White Hand Grenadiers, who, as their name suggests, throw explosives at the enemy. And, yeah, more... Oh, hang on. Before we check that, we'll check out their shock infantry. So they've got a couple of units of the elite Uruk-hai Berserkers. And their general unit is a hero unit, Lurtz, leading his Uruk-hai archers. And we'll see if we can see Lurtz himself. There he is, looking very cool and terrifying with his face paint. So yeah, both armies are actually fairly similar to one another, I should say, in terms of composition, being a lot of swordsmen, a lot of pikemen, but these guys having archers of low quality, while Dol Guldur has skirmishers of low quality and a couple cavalry units. Looking at Rohan, they've got 2 units of, what are these guys? Oh no, this is Dale. Dale's got 2 units of cavalry regiment hidden in the trees, ready for, a unit of the heavier cavalry and a unit of the merchant escort, somewhat lighter. So they've got their own little flanking force, and yeah, both armies are joining up into one larger army. We've got a unit of the Arid of the Gap, their bow cavalry, another unit of the Arid of the Gap, the Lake Town Guards of Dale, I should say, the Dalian Spear Guards forming up a nice diamond. On this side, we've got the Vinland Guards, very elite infantry. We've got the Vinland Watchmen, lesser pikemen, but still quite effective, intermixed with a bit of the Vinland Guards for more heavy infantry support. The Bardings of Dale in the centre of their formation, looking quite cool. What are these? Elite Knights of the Mark. The Lake Town Guards I mentioned before, more Watchmen. More Bardings. There's quite a lot of Vinland Guard actually. A unit of the Guard of the Golden Hall. It's very weird that they've mixed up both. I can understand what they're going for, but it makes it hard to check out the different units. More Guards of the Golden Hall. Back here. a unit of Aeolian men-at-arms, probably being held in reserve. I don't know why they'd be outside your infantry square. And then over here, they've got a large, massive cavalry, a mix of Knights of the Mark and King Theoden himself leading the Knights of the House of Aeol. The Aerid of the Eastfold. More Knights of the Mark, another unit of Aerid of the Eastfold, another units of Knights of the Mark. Over here, what are all these? Yeah, Guards of the Golden Hall, more guards, more guards. The Sword Thanes of Rohan, and then more Aeolian men-at-arms. And then over here, we've got the Rovanian Regents of Dale, with their general unit in gold over there, and another unit of the Merchant Escorts. So, yeah, this is a bit of an interesting formation. Rohan has put a lot of his cavalry on this flank, and then separated a small force over here for some reason, and then left their infantry in a big defensive formation. Looking at the balance of power, I believe Isengard and Dol Guldur have the advantage in terms of numbers, having 5,000 to 3,500, although it is pretty evenly matched, so we'll put it into normal speed and see how it goes. So, both armies are manoeuvring. These guys seem to be staying in formation. Cavalry is moving around there. Actually put it into fast forward. See which army makes the first move. Because they both seem to be playing fairly defensive. As for the map, I quite like it. It's a nice open map, but a little bit of terrain to allow you to have surprises. So yeah, one unit, I don't know, it's weird to me leaving your general this exposed out here. Yeah, they can probably make the run back in time, but even so, cavalry swarming around, one massed fist of the Knights of the Mark. So yeah, it seems very much that Rohan's going to be the hammer in this equation, while Dale is going to be the anvil. Although, bringing such heavy cavalry against that many pikemen, I can't say that's necessarily the wisest idea, although then again I'm not too sure how this battle goes. It could really go either way. Yeah, both armies are remaining fairly in position, although it does seem quite clear that Isengard and Dol Guldur are advancing. Yeah, very interesting. The cavalry is going ahead to provide... Okay, now they've taken up formation defensively somewhat. It seems like... Okay, they've taken up a big square defense, and that makes sense because the cavalry is maneuvering over here. In fact, that's very close to their lines that they're going, including a general. If these guys get picked off, the battle could very much end prematurely. So, I don't know exactly what both sides are trying to do here. Like, they're edging forward bit by bit and redeploying their forces, but to no great avail, it seems. Like, they've brought up a massive armoured fist of infantry here, and cavalry over there, but even so, like, one side's going to make a move. So, we'll speed it back up again. And it's begun. Lurtz has begun to open fire on the Rovanian Regents, and this can be quite deadly, because if these guys lose their general, they're done for. And so that's why I would advise against taking your cavalry that close, but now they've got a cavalry unit behind the enemy lines. So it becomes a question of, you got to respond to them bit by bit. So even though I believe Isengard is meant to, and Dol Guldur are meant to be the attackers in this battle, they've kind of now boxed themselves up too. So it's an army of two boxes ready to fight. It's a bit weird. Now, are their horse skirmishers going to begin to open fire, or what exactly? Because for all intents and purposes, these guys are pinned down in terms of position. And I still think they're unaware about these cavalry hidden in the trees. Okay, now they're sending forward their cavalry aiming for the horse archers. And we'll see which side matches. And I just realised something. I did not turn on the music. Or at least the sounds. So I'm actually going to add some sounds to it. Sorry about that, guys. I thought something seemed a bit weird. Turn on the speech and the effects, but we will keep the music off. We'll return back to the battle. That's more like it. And now they're going in. And the Abbot of the Gap are going to get caught out. And just like that, they're going to get killed. Knights of the Mark are charging in now. Archers over there are pulling out. Knights of the Mark join the fight, and it is just a full-blown battle over here. But yet this is only a fraction of both sides' forces. I'm going to put it into slow motion so we can kind of see how it's going. Get rid of the display. Ooh, that's nasty. Love that they're just sitting back, picking them off bit by bit as they can. But over here, these... Yep, these are the merchant escorts. They're coming in to provide extra support. And just like this, the cavalry might... Well, they might lose a couple of units of their cavalry. Their general was able to escape. And in they come. They get caught out by these guys. And now they are trapped. The Servants of the Eye are tougher. And with all these archers coming up, and the pikemen, this could really change in an instant. Fire arrows are coming in. And now, merchant escorts are pulling out. Abbot of the Gap are about to wavering, and they're breaking. That's very bad in this circumstance. The Nazgul Servants of the Eye have joined in. Oh, and there was a Nazgul unit leading. I didn't even realise that. And battle has been joined. Elsewhere, the merchant escorts are very much battered. Abbot of the Gap. Yeah, and now they're drawing them out more and more. So, the Servants of the Eye are trying to capitalise on it. The merchant escort cannot stand up to them head to head. And it seems like the first unit to shatter in this battle will be merchant escorts, and there they go. I'd say that first round was won by Dol Guldur. Although now they can sit back and harass them a bit. Like overall, their units barely took any casualties at all. Well, they decimated the merchant escorts. Now more cavalry is deploying. Pikemen are coming up. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like Dol Guldur in that situation had too many counters for the men of the West to be able to counter. And that if their horsemen didn't break them, the pikemen would have broken. If the pikemen didn't break them, the archers would have broken them. And if the archers didn't break them, well, they still had the cavalry and pikemen waiting to go. Now they've taken a bit of an extended L shape. Bit interesting of a formation. They're still very much going for a box formation, while now Rohan and Dale have begun to extend their line somewhat. And I just realised, yeah, their ambush cavalry is no longer there. They got rid of them, which kind of defeats the purpose of having ambush cavalry, but it is what it is, I guess. Uruk-hai advance forward. Guldur pikemen wait in the front lines. Yes, this battle is very much a battle of minds, I feel, in which each side takes a probing attack, pulls back, weighs their options, responds. Very much a nice little duel of the minds. And currently, that duel of the minds has been won by the forces of evil. Now, if I was them, I'd be using the horse archers to just harass the hell out of their pike formations. Or even any of their units really, except for the swordsmen. The swordsmen I keep alone. The shock infantry, the grenadiers, anything and everything else I'd be shooting up. Maybe not the bow rabble, but definitely their cavalry too. These guys are waiting over here. Is this the final advance? I don't think so. I don't think that'll be happening. At least at this point of the game. So yeah, they're just inching up their lines bit by bit, it seems. This is potentially reckless, leaving the Guldur pikes that far forward, because it means that the heavy archers could potentially rain down death on them. Could. But I don't know, they're stretching their lines so thin that it feels like they're going to be broken before they can do an envelopment of them. The merchant escorts are coming in and they're pulling out. See, I don't know if I agree with this. Because by doing that, they've weakened their unit, even if it's only by one horseman or whatever. But if you're gonna, like, dedicate to a charge, I'm not necessarily saying always dedicate to it, but don't launch a charge unless you think it's gonna work. So now they've got a massive Rohirrim at their rear, and yep, the archers have begun. But yet, despite that, they've only killed 4 of them. Not exactly the best result. But then again, these are heavy pikemen. Now they've got cavalry to their back completely, which means a hammer and an anvil charge might be coming. The pikemen are barely taking casualties, but you know. Nope, no one drops. Couple more die. But at this point, you've killed what? 1/20th of the unit? It's not exactly a great return on your investment. And they're pulling forward. And I think with the harassment by the archers, they actually might go in. Maybe. They're shooting on this side too. But what are they aiming for? I think they're going for the White Hand Grenadiers. Or Lurts, potentially. Nah, it's the Grenadiers. If I was them, I'd pull these archers back. The cavalry is still maneuvering. Have they attacked yet? No. And now they've begun a full forward advance, opening fire, and that's a lot of archer fire. That surprisingly doesn't kill anyone. And it's begun. A cavalry brawl in the rear. I'm going to put this in slow motion so we can keep track of it. But yeah, both sides is going to ham on each other. So who have we got involved? We've got a unit of the Servants of the Eye, pikemen, Arid of the Eastfold, and Arid of the Eastfold. So they're using their lesser cavalry, but they're actually hurting them somewhat, or the pikemen are probably going to change that. Dale cavalry regiments coming in. That's great to see. Infantry is fully advancing, and we just may as well press play and see how it goes. I have a feeling it's the cavalry that's going to determine this battle. Because if they kill these Nazgul Servants of the Eye, they'll kill the enemy general unit. They're going in now, the merchant escorts, and they're going to hit these blades, which I wouldn't say is exactly the best target. And battle has finally been joined. The Guards of the Golden Hall against Uruk-hai infantry. Nice to see our first clash, and I have a feeling this battle's going to go by very quickly now. Over here we've got Berserkers tearing apart Vinland Guard. Just everywhere along the line it's a brutal fight. Lake Town Guards and Dale and Spearmen against the champions. I'm going to put this in a slow motion so we can get a better look of it. Dale and Spear Guard fighting off the Dol Guldur blades. The Vinland Watchmen swinging around. Aid of the East folded broken. Yeah, this isn't exactly what you call a cohesive line anymore. At all. Although these Guldur blades aren't doing too good. Over here, King Theoden is close to dying, which if he goes, Rohan is doomed. And every side is pouring infantry into this fight. Yeah, we'll put into fast forward, and yeah, well not fast forward, normal speed. Theoden's probably going to break. Theoden has died. And with Theoden dead, Rohan's forces aren't going to last too long. The Uruk-hai Immortal Bow Rebel is breaking, but you know, that was to be expected. Pikemen v Pikemen. The Vinland Watchmen aren't going to win this. Yeah, I have a feeling the evil factions are going to be taking the victory here. Funnily enough, the White Hand Grenadiers have been shattered. God knows by who, although I see explosives going off. All in the men-at-arms aren't exactly holding out too well. They break, they shatter. Guards of the Golden Hall aren't doing too great. The Uruk-hai kind of tearing them apart. Love to see explosives on the... God damn. That's kind of awesome. The Knights of the Mark are being assaulted by the Nazgul. We're probably going to win. The Arid of the Gap are shooting but not doing too much. Knights of the Mark are breaking here, which who would have thought given they charged pikemen, it seems. Yeah, everywhere this battle is just a travesty for the men of the West. I don't know where to turn in terms of the damage that's been done. The Berserkers still going strong, even if they're mostly dead. Vinland Watchmen are gone. The White Hand Stormers are charging. This is a battle of elite soldiers. But even here, it's pretty clear which side's going to win. Just everywhere this battle is a travesty. And I have a feeling, yeah, it's pretty clear who's got this battle under their belt. The Uruk-hai pikemen have taken up formation again, defending themselves from the cavalry. What cavalry is a better question. Nazgul have polished off yet another unit of the Knights of the Mark. The Arid of the Gap being killed by infantry, the Guldur blades. Yep, that's not really a surprise. And just looking at the stats, yeah, the men are outnumbered 3-1 and are breaking, most likely. Here comes a unit of Vinland Watchmen returning to the battle, but they won't last too long. This is like the last little batch of resistance. Honestly, given how this battle's going to go, I think it's coolest to watch this one-on-one fight. That was a surprising way for the battle to go. I thought this Vinland Garden was doomed, but seems not. Can he survive the battle? Probably not, given he's covered in blood. There his mate goes defending him. Yeah, mate. And he just gets his legs cut out from under him and he goes. And here come the Servants of the Eye, helping to polish off this last little bastion of resistance. Over here, we've got the Rovanian regions fighting their hearts out. There's their general. And we'll watch what happens to him. And he goes down, gets killed by orcs. In fact, I think it's Mirkwood orcs. Tiny little itty bitty ones. And yeah. Oh, this battle's pretty much done and dusted. And I don't know, in your head, what do you think would be the headcanon reason for this battle to have occurred? And I'm interested. Leave your remarks in the comments. I'm actually quite fascinated to see what you guys think would be the backstory for this. Maybe an alliance of survivors of Isengard decided to join up with Dol Guldur and marched on the settlements of men. Maybe that's how it went. And if so, settlements of men are going to be very much in danger. And there we have it, a close victory for the evil factions, although I don't know if I'd necessarily say it was a close victory. It seemed, pretty damn total as far as I was concerned. So we'll finish off the replay and we'll check out the stats of the different armies to see how they did. So, looking at Deval leading Isengard, Lurtz didn't get many kills, but suffered a fair bit of casualties. Uruk-hai infantry did pretty damn good, 139 kills, 125 kills, 117 kills, 146 kills. Their shock infantry were exterminated, but got 122 kills, which is quite nice to see. Another one got 73 kills, still fairly good. Their pikemen didn't do too great. This unit got 75 kills, but was almost beaten. That's generally because their pikemen didn't have much to fight in the battle, surprisingly enough, compared to the cavalry. Or at least you think they'd be fighting cavalry, but there wasn't too much of that around for them to fight, given it was picked off by other units. Their archers did abysmally, only getting 2 kills between them and being completely obliterated. And the White Hand Grenadiers did amazingly, getting 97 kills and 143, although both suffered quite grievously. So yeah, pretty good performance by most of the units fielded by Deval. Looking at Ellan Enish's army, actually before we do that, looking at the number of troops Deval fielded, he lost about 1,000 of his men and came out of it with over 1,400 remaining, so he did pretty good. Looking at Ellan Enish's army, his Nazgul Servants of the Eye General unit got 135 kills, pretty good. His Guldur Blades got 85 kills. Generally the Guldur Blades did mediocre, a lot of them got quite poor amounts of kills and got bludgeoned quite badly. This unit got 80 kills though and came out of it with most of the unit alive, which is good. This unit of Champions Dol Guldur got 105 kills, which is quite good, but again, almost completely wiped out. The Guldur Pikes actually did fairly good, getting 121 kills and 165 kills, although they suffered quite badly, and these guys really helped put the nail in the coffin for Rohan's cavalry. Then the Mirkwood Raiders didn't do too bad, all getting 52 kills and 79 kills, doing far better than the Orcs fielded by Isengard. And the rest of their cavalry did great too, getting 192 kills and 183 kills. Generally an army that worked together really damn well. In terms of losses, he lost over 1,300 of his men, leaving with 1,200 alive, so he lost more than 50% of his force. But still, winning is winning. Turning to Nazgi now, leading Dale. His general unit, the Rovania Regents, did amazing, getting 229 kills. This unit of the Vinland guys didn't do too great, getting 54 kills, but these guys got 101 and 119 apiece. This unit of Dalian Spear Guards did good, getting 138, this unit not so much. The Lake Town Guards got 244 kills and 125 kills, which, for these guys especially, 244 is absolutely astounding. However, their Vinland Watchmen didn't do anywhere near as well, getting 40 kills and 6 kills. Quite a poor performance, but then again, this is a fairly weak unit, so it's not too surprising. The Bardens got 125 kills and 126 kills, which, very close to each other, doing quite well. This unit of Merchant Escorts got 1 kill, which is absolutely abysmal, probably the worst performing unit in this. Actually, no, one of the Orc units did worse, but that's just by one. This unit of Merchant Escorts got 98 kills, which is very mediocre. Well, not mediocre, but at the cost of losing the entire unit, I wouldn't say it was that worth it. And this unit of Dale Cavalry Regiment got 132 kills, which is quite good. Out of his army of 1800, he lost almost 1500, leaving just 300. So yeah, he suffered pretty significant casualties. And then turning to Harrington's army, his army of 1600 lost most of its army, losing 1150, coming out with only 500 left, so even worse, he lost 2/3 of his army. His general unit, King Théoden, did pretty damn poorly, only having 32 kills, which is, yeah, not the best in the world at all. This unit of Sword Thanes got 101 kills, which is quite good. This unit of Men-at-Arms got 218, which is great. But the other two Aorling Men-at-Arms only got 3 and 19, which is very bad. This unit of Guard of the Golden Horde got 84, which is mediocre. 2, which is about as bad as it can get. And 113, which is fairly good. And then the cavalry, just in general, massively underperformed. The Arid of the East got 19 kills, 14 kills, 56 kills. The 56 is somewhat tolerable, but even then, not really. The Knights of the Mark did horribly, getting around 30 kills each. And then the Arid of the Gap did abysmally too, getting 3 kills altogether. So yeah, Rohan, I wouldn't say it was Harrington's leadership necessarily, but the Rohan, I'd say, underperformed in this battle significantly. But anyways, guys, there you have it. This is my cover of this battle replay. Again, very much thank you to Ellan Enish for sending this in. I massively appreciate it. And again, guys, thank you for the performance on the battlefield. It's always great to watch. It's always good to learn from other people's players, pick up different strategies, see what not to do, what to do. Again, my thanks to you guys. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you guys want to send in any battle replays to me, again, you can send them in either to my email, linked in my channel description, or you can send them to me over the Total War The Dawnless Days Discord server. If you guys have liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It might not seem like much for such a small channel. It is massively appreciated. With all that said, more videos will be coming in the future, especially more battle replays, and when this mod updates, a ton of videos going over the new changes made to the mod. However, with all that said now, this is your host Jakov, signing out.